What's up, everybody? Been a minute. So, finally was able to get back out on the shop here and try to do a little bit on the F-18. It's been forever since I made the last video. Probably before the holidays, I think. But yeah, still here. Trying to get a little bit of building done. I can't do much. It's a crazy time. I mean, I'm 6 months from being out of the Army, so I'm trying to do some training, prepping for the next career, get ready for interviews, take check rides, and do the side business that I got going. I'm sure everybody knows by now I'm the U.S. service rep for Jet Months turbines, so this is keeping me busy as well. I can do everything now. Done some 25-hour services already, glow igniters, all that stuff, so I'm good to go. It was a long process trying to learn everything via Messenger. That's kind of what took so long. You know, this stuff's not hard, but you know, you gotta know what you're doing or you're gonna screw something up. And like I said, trying to do it over Messenger just kind of makes it really long process. Something that if I was in person would probably take 2 hours. But you know, it is what it is. So anyways, got through it. It's going. So if you need anything, let me know. I can help you. So that's all keeping me busy. I mean, it's just everything. You know, and I've had some medical things pop up this year. Gosh, 2019 started off with an emergency surgery, followed by another a hand surgery. So yeah. Anyways, so that's about it. And what I wanted to show you guys is the F-18. I left off. I got all the servos in on the last videos, and I got the gear painted. So let me grab this. I'll show you that for you guys. Put all the decals on it from. It's kind of hard to see, but I still got to clear coat it. But all the decals are pretty much on there for the landing gear, the tailor-mades. Even some in the wheel there, it's kind of hard to see them, but they're in there, little labels. That's the nose. And then of course the big old mains. So it's hard to see them, but there's a decal. Got some decals in the wheels on the actual, here, let me rotate them here. Big gear, big heavy gear. There's some more decals, so it makes it really nice, because I got a bunch of the tailor-made stuff to do all the decals for the scheme, so it's gonna look really nice once it's done. But yeah, I did that, and I used where'd it go? Just a self-etching primer with this. It's like an epoxy acrylic or paint they use it for appliances. It's shiny, but landing gears actually, I didn't know this, but it's actually shiny anyways. We just make them flat. I don't know why, but apparently the real landing gear is painted with glossy just to kind of help keep you know, like hydraulics and fluid and stuff off of it. So that's all done. It's ready to go back in. I gotta paint. I gotta get to that point. It's warmed up, so I gotta make some time to do some painting, try to do something, because I got paint that I'm going to use, and if I don't use it, it's going to go bad. That's going to be the biggest heartache, is just redoing this scheme. But once that's done, I'll probably get pretty motivated, because the motors are on the way. Putting 2 Jet Month 140 or 166 TS motors in there, so will be I think it'll be a perfect combo, because they're pretty small turbines for the power they put out, so they should fit pretty well in there. So let me grab this, come over here and show you what I got going on. Actually, let me turn some lights on in here. How about that? Stand by 1 second. There we go. That's a little bit better, not much, but grab a flashlight. So I was working on the servo or gear doors for the mains. So we pulled out the old ones, replaced them with MAP or Ultra Precisions, and I got these MAP mounts right there. I really like those. Makes it easy to install these things. So, and I'm getting the proper angles to kind of get the best, you know, maximize the full stroke of the aero cylinder plus the best advantage I can. And I made this guy. It's just a wood plate glued in, wood piece of ply with the same little mounts at an angle, and I got to go through and put some high sol on those. I'm working on the large main doors, so it's kind of hard to see, but same mounts on this. But I took this, basically what they gave me, it was one of these. Since I'm not using the front mounted turbines, I took this G10 plate and cut the center out of it, basically glued these mounts to that and made a neoprene mount just to kind of stiffen the mount, and then I'm going to glue this in with high sol and probably put a little brace on the back. So it's essentially going to go in here like this. Let me back up. So it's going to stand right there and go towards they have to be really close because you got them next together, but it's going to be just like that. The ones that they had in were these, and they worked. I was just going to do something different, but because the landing gear sits there, you can't go too high or it'll hit the actual frames on the landing gear. So what I did was just made sure, and these are pretty close height, actually it's a little taller. So I got about probably 3 or 4 millimeters taller than these were, so give it a little bit better clearance from hitting the edge of the fuselage, which the other ones were doing, so I get full stroke, and it doesn't hit the actual landing gear. So these will be glued in just like this, and nothing crazy there. So that's what I'm doing next. Got to mix up some high sol for that, and then I will shift gears to the nose and put the new air cylinders in the nose as well. Going to be using the same mounts. They're easy and they're very effective. So, and those are the MAP things that I sell. I'm not just a seller. I'm also a client. So. Anyways, that's where I'm at. Nothing too crazy, but you kind of see everything closes nice. Getting the full stroke on the doors. Actually push past center on that one. This one pretty much straight down and no binding, nice and smooth. They all fit pretty well. Skymaster actually got these fitted pretty good. So, yeah, there's nothing that sits right here, so they had the same type of mounts, these little guys on the back here too. It's just you're only using like 70% of the actual throw on the cylinder they had. This will use these are set up to use 100% both ways, so you don't have like air, the piston isn't stopped by the door, it's stopped by the end of the cylinder, so that way you're not just holding pressure against it. So yeah, so that's about it. Like I said, and then once these are in and the nose doors are done, I'm going to go ahead and start putting the fuel tanks in. They're plumbed with the BVM high flow stuff. I use that on everything. The only thing I got to do on those is put the vent line, and I got to put a vent line on the front of the main, 2 vent lines, and that's just going to be the real thick, big oversized diameter brass tubing that I use. So I always overdo it on the vents, but I never have a problem with you know, pump voltages and stuff like that. So, and oh, built up the MAP UAT mounts. Really like these. Kind of they basically come in that little, and I've done a video on that, but that's what they are. They're gonna go. It'd been awesome if I had room to put it all right here, so I could take the nose off without, you know, having, you know, any fuel stuff to disconnect. But there's really no room up there, so they're gonna sit right here in the back of the nose. So they'll be next to each other just like that. So, but that's it for now. Like I said, it's crazy busy. I do what I can. Oh yeah, where did they go? Excuse me, I can't. It's a mess in here. I can't find stuff. Ah, here we go. So look, got these 3D printed. The ECS exhaust. The Skymaster version uses, I guess, what the original exhaust was, and then they added these guys. So they got that nice. Yeah, you see them. That's exactly where they're going to go. So all I'll do is just draw out pretty much right there. Neighbor's yelling at his kid, sorry about that. Cut a square, glue them into place. I don't think that'll, I mean, they actually flow through, so the air will be coming through here and it has another way to escape. I don't know if that'll change anything pressure-wise, but the more air that can flow through the jet, the better. At least that's what I think anyway. So, but yeah, that's about it.